Hello, everybody. So, in today's video, I wanted to show clips all on behalf of the platform TikTok pertaining to black women on behalf of some black women, that is, on behalf of being cold approached. In other words, approached in person by men. I'm assuming mostly their own kind, and how uncomfortable it made them feel to the extent where they were trying to think of practically any excuse they could to get rid of those men, only for those same men to them explaining how some of those same men that they ended up rejecting was still going as far as stalking them. Also, how some guys that they may have approached in the past may have went as far as calling them derogatory names. And it also goes to show you how immature some men could be, to the extent where it's no different from that small toddler who may be at either a grocery store or a retail store when his mother, that small boy toddler that is, and may happen to be playing with a toy that his mother may grab off the shelf, they give to him just to distract him, or he won't end up distracting her while shopping the whole while by regularly overacting, or how could I put it, regularly uh, acting in a nature that a small boy would act, because little boys for the most part are known to be very hyperactive anyway. And whenever that same mother may happen to put up the toy or deny from buying the kid the toy, that's what does that toddler do? That small um, boy toddler may end up throwing tantrums by crying excessively or nonstop, and then going as far as trying to, in some cases, retaliate by hitting the mother. It's no different from how some guys or some older so-called mature guys are when they get approached by women. And there have been stories, quite a bit of stories also, where some guys may have gotten so sensitive and in their feelings to the extent where they have went as far as murdering women on behalf of women, not giving them their phone numbers, if not murdering, pointing weapons at women, only for some women to go as far as giving guys their numbers, and in some cases the numbers being a fake number or someone else's number. There are cases have been certain, such instances where guys may go have far, or may have went as far as stalking women, literally following the women to some other destination after approaching the woman where they may have initially approached the women at, only to prove how some guys, how mentally disturbed some guys are, and not only that, but how entitled and arrogant some guys appear, to the extent where some guys feel like every woman should always accept their advances, should not turn them down under any circumstances. Otherwise, those same guys overreact, and sometimes in the most drastic or tragic ways. Furthermore, ladies and gentlemen, because I have said enough, I'm going to show clips courtesy of TikTok, all of courtesy of TikTok, on behalf of a few sisters saying and telling about their experiences on being approached by guys, only for them to reject those guys, and stating how the outcome was in the process. So here they are, folks.
They pulled a gun on me today because I didn't want to give them my number, which is like, whatever. But like, it didn't make sense to me because like, if you got my number because you pulled a gun on me and you texted me, what do you think I'm doing with the information? Baby, you're going to jail.
like to use the excuse, oh, sorry, I have a boyfriend, when I'm rejecting a man.
I decided years ago, I feel like when I was in my mid-20s, that I was no longer going to lie and say that I had a boyfriend or that I was gay whenever like some dude tried to talk to me and I wasn't interested. I was just like, no, I'm just gonna start saying no, I'm not interested. Like I'm not interested in lying to try to placate these people's feelings anymore. It's actually exhausting. What's really sad is in the comments of the video, there are women that are like, nah, I'd rather lie because, you know, they killing people out here and that these dudes will respect that you have a boyfriend before they respect you for not being interested, right? But the part of the reason I stopped lying to begin with is because the lies did not help the situation. Because if I lied and said that I had a boyfriend, the next thing out of this guy's mouth was, oh, so you're not allowed to have friends? I said I was a lesbian. It was like, oh, so you can't have friends? Oh, you sure you gay? Like, oh, I could turn you straight. Whatever kind of bullshit. Like, no lie ever ended the conversation. Like, it's truly just like heartbreakingly sad that as women, we are not allowed to use no as a full fucking sentence. The fact that we have to walk around fucking terrified that something might happen to us because some man just can't accept a very simple, easy rejection is like, no thank you, is crazy. I get so fucking annoyed when dudes are like, oh, girls are so rude, like y'all don't speak to nobody. You're like, oh, these women don't want to speak to you, but then they get into trouble up the block and all of a sudden they want you to help. Like, I'm not gonna help you, you didn't speak to me. And at no point does like logic or any sort of reasoning skills kick in to say maybe this woman did not speak to you because she was worried that there was a chance that you would react the way the man down the block who's following her reacted. And then you try to explain this to them and they get so upset. It was like, not all men. It's like, yeah, we're aware of the fact that it's not all of you, but we have to operate on the assumption that it's all of you for like safety reasons. Y'all love to act like women are over exaggerating when you with your own eyes have seen shit like this happen. I don't understand why y'all don't get that it is insane to live in a world where there's an actual real chance that if I say no to some man advances that he may actually fucking kill me. So yesterday during a live, I came to some really startling realizations that shook me up a lot and actually had me breaking down crying. Let me tell you guys about it. So the question was posed in a live yesterday. Have you ever experienced violence or threats as a result of rejecting a man? And yeah, like, of course I have. Like most women have, of course, like that. However, as I started to go into details about the experiences I had, I realized that I've had quite a few harassing altercations with men. You know, I had an experience where a man followed me home. Not just an experience. I've had several experiences where men have followed me for blocks. Either followed me to my job or followed me to my apartment complex or, you know, followed me on my way to school. I've had an instance when I was at a festival where a guy like was like, oh, hi, like you look so beautiful. Like, how are you today? And, you know, he had his hand out and I'm thinking like, oh, hi, he wants to shake my hand. How are you? I'm Talisa. And right when I reached out for him and he got close enough to shake my hand, he reached past my hand and immediately started to grab my breast. In a public place, mind you. And of course, when I smacked his hand away and said, what the fuck are you doing? Everyone looked at me like I was crazy because all they saw was this really handsome, smiling man who was saying, hi, how are you? And now me, the dark-skinned black woman, was being extra aggressive, but nobody was paying attention to where his hands were going. I've had multiple occasions of men just walking up on me and word vomiting whatever sexual fantasies they've had, just
oh my God, you're so beautiful. Your boobs are so big. I would lick you. I would flip you. Bop, 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 bop. And I'm just like, sir, I don't even know your name. Like, you haven't even introduced yourself. You don't even know my name, but you're already word vomiting every sexual fantasy that you can think of about my body. And in the times that I've been essayed and literally had to file police reports on being essayed, and I just was completely overwhelmed with the sheer amount of harassment that I've experienced at the hands of men of all races. Primarily black men, unfortunately, but definitely by all races of men. And yeah, so that was really heavy yesterday. It hit me. And then it was like, oh, well, no wonder I stay in a house.
Now, what I would like to know is, and I want to throw in some humor, excuse me, why is this sister having this bushy ass afro like she trying to audition for a reboot of Blackenstein to be the bride of Frankenstein or Blackenstein if Frankenstein was black? I mean, her hair is it look like she stuck her head in a like she stuck her hand in a socket and she got electrocuted. Y'all know them movies where it may be a scene in the movie where and based upon how they like to do in some horror movies and sci-fi movie visual effects, and it may be a scene where somebody may stick a socket, a plug into a socket only to get electrocuted, and then if they may have a lot of hair, their hair start sticking up and they may start bucking their eyes, and they be like, that's what she reminds me of. If she was to have made a scene like that in either a sci-fi or horror movie. God damn. And excuse me for cussing. So I'm going to play one last clip.
Hey TikTok, it's been a minute. I want to talk about a video I saw earlier today while I was working. It was a young lady and she talked about her experience when she rejected a man and how he was very aggressive with her. He started to stalk her social medias and her business pages and all things like that. And it really made me think. I've been seeing that a lot on TikTok, Facebook. It just made me think, what is wrong with y'all men? If a woman tells you no or rejects you, why do y'all feel like y'all have to get aggressive and defensive and feel like you have to insult us or cause us some type of physical harm? It's gotten so bad that I have learned to literally put on a fake smile or giggle or laugh off a comment or a compliment and try to politely get away from the situation. There is even instances that I've given out a fake phone number just so the dude can walk away politely. And it's very scary because even if I say, hey, I'm dating someone, which I am at the moment, it doesn't warrant them to leave you alone. And if you do reject them, you get called out of your name. I have been called some horrible things. And it got so bad at one point, I started wearing a fake engagement ring. And that don't even work no more. They'll tell me, oh, your man don't let you have friends. No, he does not. So can y'all learn when a woman tells you no, it's no? And for those crazy ass men that go to the level that this man went to, stalking someone, what is wrong with y'all? Who raised y'all? When a woman tells you no, it's no, or tells you, hey, I'm good, Take your L and go about your business. There are plenty of women out there. And this is women across the board. Don't sit there and think, oh, she just being bougie. Maybe the woman is generally not interested. Maybe that woman is trying to save you from her. She might be going through a healing process and is toxic as hell. So sometimes when a woman tells you no, it's for a reason. So just be respectful and walk away.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, that's it for this video. And excuse me, but my throat happened to get a tad bit scratchy. Anyway, before I end the video, make sure you like the video, you comment on it, and let me know what you guys think. You share it so it could be end up becoming more viral. Last but not least, subscribe to the channel, and when you do, click on the subscription bell. Make sure you choose to get notified of all of my upcoming videos and content. Until next time, you guys have a good day.